That was part of their training. Derek Chauvin was training those two rookie officers. So when when people say, "Oh, it's just one bad apple," those bad apples train many other bad apples, and the entire quote is one rotten apple, one bad apple spoils the bunch. So you gotta throw the bunch away. But they never seem to include the rest of that quote. I really wonder why.
Keep it 100, I be feeling like Campbell's soup over white rice. Baked chicken with the skin on. Yeah, Lowry's with black pepper. I'm fully seasoned with laughter.
What's good, 100%? It's your boy Dre, and welcome to my channel. Keep it 100, Dre. So, as you can see, I'm not wearing my glasses again because I still can't find it. So I'm not gonna look as smart today. But I got a fresh cut, so I'm not looking as ugly as normal. So what I want to talk about today is, as we all know, Derek Chauvin, the criminal thug who murdered George Floyd, he has been found guilty on all 3 counts of murder, and he will be sentenced on June 16th. But what many haven't talked about is the other 3 officers involved in the case. Their names are Tayo, Thomas Lane, and J. Alexander August. So the last guy, J. Alexander August, I wonder, is his first name Jay? Who names their parent just Jay? It's not J-A-Y, it's the literal J. Alexander. So that's kind of weird. Never seen a name like that, but that's besides the point. So they're awaiting trial, which is expected to take place in August. So an expert said all 3 of those officers are likely to take a guilty plea, or they're likely to seek a bench trial, which is the trial just with the judge hearing their case, because of the conviction of Derek Chauvin. So I want to read directly from this article. It says, "I'm almost 100% confident that likelihood of guilty pleas in all 3 cases has gone up by a lot." Mike Lawler, associate professor at the University of New Haven, told insiders, "I think that the certainty of conviction is extremely high, and the possible penalties are also extremely high under circumstances." So a few important things that's going to be factors into his case and how they're sentenced. So Derek Chauvin, like I said, the criminal thug who murdered George Floyd, that had his knee on his neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. He was the most senior officer while that was happening. He was in the force for 2+ decades. The next senior officer was Tayo, however you say his name. He's been a full-time employee of the force since 2012. The other 2 officers, they were rookies. They were on their first and second weeks in the force. So that's something that's going to play a large part in the sentencing. So it's very likely that Tayo, however you say his name, he's going to receive more time than the other 2 who were just rookies, and they were in training by Derek Chauvin. That was part of their training. Derek Chauvin was training those 2 rookie officers. So when people say, "Oh, it's just one bad apple," those bad apples train many other bad apples. And the entire quote is one rotten apple, one bad apple spoils the bunch. So you gotta throw the bunch away. But they never seem to include the rest of that quote. I really wonder why. So it's very likely that these 3 officers are going to face some prison time, especially if they're going to take guilty pleas. But again, what I really want to stress, and what is really important that we all know, is that this is not justice, it's accountability. These officers are being held accountable, but there's so many more officers who will not be held accountable, and so many in the past who have not been held accountable for their actions. And I didn't do a whole breakdown on the George Floyd. Sorry, I didn't do a whole breakdown on the Derek Chauvin guilty verdict as of yet, which is coming. It's coming a bit down the line for now because it's going to be a very long video, and it's not going to be just about the trial itself, but it's going to be about what it means and why we still have so much work to do. So it's coming. I'm not going to let you know the exact date. I know the date, but I'm not going to let you know the exact date, but it's coming a bit down the line. So after I release that video, you're going to have a much better grasp of how much more work we have to do if you don't already know these things yet. And this, I'm sure you're going to learn a lot from the video, because there's a lot that I learned doing research and talking to people about the entire issue with the criminal justice system, and specifically police being held accountable. There's a lot more work we need to do. So again, like I said before, this is not justice, it's accountability. They're being held accountable for their actions. So that's all I gotta say for this video. I really appreciate you watching. If you like the content, like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the post notifications so you know when I post videos in the future. That's very important, because YouTube will not notify you I post a video unless you turn on the post notifications, even if you're a subscriber. So thanks for watching the video, but I gotta leave you with one more thing before the video is over, and that's the word of the day. The word of the day for today is a word I already used: accountability. Accountability is spelled ACCOUNTABILITY. The definition of accountability is the fact or condition of being held accountable, responsibility. So now I will attempt to use accountability in a sentence. The police officers being put in prison for their actions in the George Floyd murder is not justice, it's accountability, because only those officers are being held accountable for their actions. The only way we will actually see justice is when we live in a fair and equitable society. Hopefully I use that sentence correctly. So again, if you like the content, like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the post notifications so you know when I post videos in the future, and use accountability in the comment section below so I know you watch the video to the end. So again, I really appreciate you watching the video. 100% this. Peace.
Well, I've been stacking up. Nah, really that ain't accurate, cause I just spent my whole damn advance in the past couple months just to compensate for times we ain't have enough. Ooh.